You guys, I am back. You did miss the first video, Ashley, but I'm going to go through the palettes again real quick. At the end, hopefully Miss Nancy gets back. Actually, I'll go through the palettes real quick now. I don't even know if the first part uploaded correctly. I lost my internet. So I'm going to go through the palettes again real quick. If you want to see any of them, Ash, since you're the only one here, just let me know. And I'll pull them out. But we're going to go through the palettes again real quick, and they're not organized now. So the last one we did was the Kat Von D Sinner and Saint. The Kat Von D Divine palette. We have the Kat Von D Pastel Goth palette, which Ashley, you know that I wanted that palette so bad, and I do love it. I'm trying to kind of grab the brands again. The Kat Von D Alchemist palette, which Miss Ashley got me last year for my birthday, and I still use. I actually just did a video on it. The Kat Von D Plum Shade and Light Eye Quad. And then Urban Decay, we had the Heavy Metals Urban Decay collection. The Full Spectrum, which Miss Ashley also got me for my birthday last year, and I still use. The Urban Decay Moondust. The Urban Decay Naked Heat. Where's the other one? The Urban Decay Electric, which is my favorite. The Urban Decay Basquiat collection. And the Urban Decay Chrysalis, which is my pan palette for who knows how long. We had the Jaclyn Hill Morphe palette. The Jaclyn Hill Vault collection, which is the one we just did 4 videos on this. And then MAC, we had the Cinderella and the Rocky Horror Picture Show. The small palettes. I did crash. Hi, Amy. I'm glad to see you back. I'm going back through them real quick. My friend Ashley's on now, so I'm going back through them just real quick. I don't think the video is going to upload, and I did promise I was going to do this. So, the Huda Beauty Minis, we have Ruby Obsessions and Electric Obsessions. No, it was me, unfortunately. The Beauty Glazed Pressed Glitter palette. And Amy, I think you actually missed some of these too. The Sephora Pantone Universe palette, the Ulta Beauty Melissa Michelle. Except I totally know what you've got. Ashley, you don't know what I've got. I've got so much more now, girl. It's ridiculous. There are some that are still tried and true favorites, but we had the Sugar Pill Heartbreaker Quad, the Violet Voss Fruit Sorbet Mini, the LA Splash Classic Horror palette, the Essence I'm With the Band, the new one from BoxyCharm, the Rainforest of the Sea Volume 3, which I don't like. I don't like the Rainforest of the Sea formula. I don't like, boo for BoxyCharm this month. I do like the Ofra liquid lipstick I got. I got the Havana Nights liquid lipstick, and it's really pretty. The Suva Beauty Protege palette. This one I liked from BoxyCharm, though, the Pure Midnight Masquerade palette. And this one, too, the Ace Beauty Grandiose palette. The Violet Voss Rainbow Eyeshadow palette. And then the Lunatic Cosmetics Labs Elvira palette. Those are the ones we had gone through so far. I'm kind of waiting to see if Nancy comes back on because she wanted to see the Jeffree Star palettes. So we'll do some of the other ones first. I was actually kind of saving those for last because that's my absolute favorite brand. I can't help it. I love Jeffree Star's eyeshadows. I don't think they have a lot of fallout. I think they're absolutely beautiful. This guy I have not gotten into. This is a new brand for me. It's a highly, highly, highly loved brand, and I haven't tried it. I am a horror fan. How did you know? I'm horror in Disney. Like, if you look, I have a zombie girl tattooed here on my arm. The plan is to do this lower sleeve as a horror sleeve with like body parts and brains and just like a black wash, and then the body parts in color. And then I want to get Disney Up here on my shoulder. Exactly. Horror and Disney. So I want to get Cinderella Castle and then some of the characters and do this top half of my arm all bright and colorful because that mixes just, that's what I'm into. So I don't want this one to be too long. So we're going to go ahead and get into the rest of the palettes. So this one I just won. I got this from Danny V here on YouTube, but I think he's Tegan St. Moore on Instagram, if I remember correctly. So this is the Saharan 2 by Juvia's Place. I have not used any Juvia's Place palettes before. I have some issues with certain brands and the way they promote their products, but this brand I've wanted to try because one, the cost is lower. Two, they're supposed to be crazy pigmented and amazing. One thing I did grab, you guys, I was smart. I grabbed the makeup wipes while I was off. So this is the Saharan 2 by Juvia's. Wash my brushes after I use them. I dye in bed. I have that problem with a lot of palettes because I have so many pigmented palettes. But I've gotten better with washing my brushes. Right now I'm using, I had just won a set of brushes, like a large set of brushes. So what I'm doing is I'm taking the brushes after I use them and I'm putting them in a different cup so I can try to wash them after each time I use them. I do use a color switch when I'm doing my eyeshadow, but I am trying to be good about setting my palettes aside. So this is the inside of the Nubian 2. I've swatched just the middle color, but I haven't actually dipped into this at all. It does look absolutely beautiful. And this blue shade is gorgeous. The red burgundy shade is gorgeous, which is what usually draws my eye as red burgundy eyeshadows. So that is the Saharan 2, which I will be dipping into soon. If you guys, if there's looks you want to see with any of these palettes, let me know. Because I have no problem doing them. Since I'm new with YouTube, I don't mind doing just whatever anybody wants to see. Because I'm curious what people want to see. And honestly, like, I need some feedback on my videos. Like, I know my lighting's bad. I know all that. That's not something that is a surprise to me, but I don't know what people want to see. I don't know if I'm creating the kind of looks that people would want to try to do, or if it's just boring and me babbling, because if it is, I'm going to keep doing it anyway because I'm enjoying it. I sounded like such a bleep there, but you know. Okay, we'll do Tarte next. I have 3 other Tarte palettes that I do actually like. So this one is the Make Believe in Yourself palette. I bought this one when it went on sale. This was part of that unicorn collection, which I wanted the unicorn brushes so much, and I didn't get them. Oh, thank you, Amy. So this is the Tarte Make Believe in Yourself. Again, mostly shimmer shades. There's one transition shade in this guy. But this guy is quite beautiful. And I'm not, there we go. I'm going to say the lighting's not really picking up the colors that well because I have the window right there. And then my phone's set up right next to the window. We're getting a bit of it's getting a bit more washed out. And the little protector apparently doesn't want to stay in this guy today. One thing I love about Tarte palettes, and I'm really tempted to just open this guy back up and do it, is smell this, the way they smell. The Tarte palettes smell absolutely amazing. Next one is the Tarte Graveyard Girl Swamp Queen. This was the collaboration with the beautiful Miss Bunny, who I love because just her personality is absolutely amazing to me. It is a decent palette, and the Swamp Queen palette is decent too. I don't care for the brush in it. The Swamp Queen palette's decent, but I wanted it to be more amazing than it actually was. I find for me the colors kind of blend together a bit, but it is a very pretty palette. What is it? The Sippy Sippy color with the glitter in it is amazing. The blush in this is nice. I don't really use the bronzer as a bronzer too much. And then the shade Haunting, I just really like the name of that. And this one smells good too. But this one's different from a regular Tarte palette smell. It's more of a vanilla. And then we have the Gator Wings is really pretty. We have the Tarteist Pro, the original. And I don't know how bad this is, guys. I don't know how beat up it is. Because I have used this one quite a bit. Well, I guess it's not as bad as I thought it was. So this is the Tartus Pro, the original Tartus Pro palette. I'm very curious about the remix palette. Now, I know some people didn't like it. One of the reasons they said is the layout. So the layout of this palette, you go from light to dark, and then you have your shimmer shade at the end, which is a really cool setup. Though I don't tend to use it that way myself personally. This guy is dirty. Next we'll do Lorac, because I only have 2 Lorac palettes. And I'm sure, and Amy's already hit on this, you guys know why I have these 2 Lorac palettes. Technically there's 3, because there's one inside of the Pirates of the Caribbean palette, but we're not doing those today. So these are the 2 Lorac palettes. We'll go with the order they came out in. So the first one is the Dead Man Tell No Tales, the Pirates of the Caribbean palette. Ashley was with me when I got this Pirates of the Caribbean palette. This is this guy. This one's kind of cool because it has an eyeliner instead of a brush, which I appreciate. I did get it at Ulta the day we were at Ulta. Yes, I did. And that's when I caved and got the cheek palette too. And I do love the cheek palette. So that's the Pirates of the Caribbean palette. I wanted to love this more than I did, but I don't regret this palette at all because of the theming, the packaging, everything about it. I don't know if you guys know. Here, let me pull this guy back out. And we're not going to get into it because it's not a cheek palette video. But the Pirates of the Caribbean had a little slot on the side, and a lot of people were trying to figure out what it was for. It was so you could put the cheek palette inside of it. And I thought that was just a clever little packaging detail. The fallout with the Pirates palette, see, I don't have that much trouble. The problem I had was with the shimmers. I didn't like how they applied with a brush, so I just started using my finger with it. And then we have the Lorac Beauty and the Beast. I didn't get the cheek palette with this one. I didn't get the lip. All I got was the palette, and the packaging on the palette is ridiculously beautiful. It looks like a book, and that's what I love about this one. And this one is a lot more neutral than the Pirates one. You sold your Beauty and the Beast palette? Really? See, I couldn't because of the theming. It's the Disney thing for me. That's what caused me to get these. So there's the inside of the Beauty and the Beast. It is super cute. The packaging on it's amazing. And I find myself with this one, I really love the shades. I love Real You. Ashley, I didn't see what that comment said, unfortunately. It said something about the resorts. There we go. I remember at the resort pool after you used it without primer and the fallout was an issue. Was that the Pirates palette? Oh, it was. I remember the day you're talking about. We were at the Coronado Springs pool. And I did have some serious fallout issues that day, but it could have been, again, we were at the pool. It was a pool day, so. But yeah, I love the color Real You in this. And then Timekeeper is also really pretty. Again, if you guys want me to swatch anything, let me know. Ashley, I know you've seen this swatched, and Amy, you said you had it. So I'm just reminding you guys I don't mind swatching. And now I'm prepared to, what is it catching on? Oh, the clasp. I'm a genius. Now my comments are staying and not vanishing on me. Okay. 3 more brands, and we're still keeping Jeffree Star for last. So this next one, I just got this. I actually got this from a friend. This is the Too Faced Just Peachy Mattes. Oh, I forgot she had stuck a little eyeshadow in there. I have no idea what this shadow is. This is the Too Faced Just Peachy Mattes. It's kind of messy. I love this too. Honestly, I looked at it. The color that really called to me was Peach Sangria. Of course, it's a red shade. But I did a look with this the other day, and it blended out so beautifully. It looked so nice. Yeah. And didn't this guy just go on sale? I don't know if it's still on sale or if it was just for a little while, but it's definitely one I'm going to be playing with more. This one Ashley got me. Ashley, did you get this for Christmas for me last year? I want to say it was for Christmas. This is the Too Faced Sweet Peach palette. We've all seen this. The packaging's to die for. It smells amazing. And I have If you could tell, I've used it a decent amount, Ashley. Originally, like, I was obsessed with this palette. I smelled it every time I went into Ulta or Sephora, but it wasn't really something I would have necessarily chose for myself, and Ashley picked it up for me, and I'm so glad she did, because it's honestly an amazing formula. Like, a lot of people have used this palette, and it really is a great formula. It's beautiful for an everyday eye look. I absolutely love it. Why aren't my comments staying? With your chocolate bar palette. You know, I actually haven't tried the chocolate bar palettes. Let's see. I'm going to put, there we go. I'm trying to figure out why my comments keep disappearing so fast. Okay, so last Too Faced palette, I just got this one. It is the chocolate gold. I have posted a picture with this on my IG. I did not film the look, but this is the chocolate gold palette. One, the packaging is beautiful and blinding. The smell is amazing. If you don't like scented palettes, Too Faced is probably not the brand for you. Wow, I had trouble opening that for some reason. So this is the chocolate gold palette. I don't know what to do. Like, this is going to be super reflective because this gold's insane. I did a look the other day and I used Living Lavish in my crease, and oh, I'm sorry, no, New Money in my crease, and I absolutely love that look. I thought it was beautiful. I used Money Bags as well, which is that green shade, and that was beautiful as well. So I'm looking forward to playing with this guy a whole lot more. I don't think Nancy's going to make it back, you guys, but hopefully she'll see it on the replay. So we have 2 brands left. 3 brands left. I am so sorry. I had the one hidden away because it's actually... Okay, I guess I have 2 favorite brands, because one I want to say is my favorite because of the formula, but it's so doggone expensive. I absolutely refuse to say that. And then the other one I love. I love the person behind the brand. I love everything about it. So let's do Anastasia next. And we're going to go with the palette first that everyone and their brother has. This palette got a lot more people into makeup. See, I thought it was this that I had trouble with the fallout on, but I could be wrong. This is the Anastasia Modern Renaissance palette. We all know this palette. We all love this palette. It is an amazing palette. And yeah, this palette, honestly, guys, we all know this. This palette's the bomb. It's amazing for almost any type of eye look. If I want to get a darker smoky look, I will go in with a black shadow in my inner corner. And these 2 reds, they're the thing that made me buy the palette. They're amazing. I really like Primavera and Vermeer. They're beautiful shimmer palettes, beautiful shimmer colors. And then, I don't know if I'm saying this right, but Realgar, this orange in the corner, is amazing. Bon Fresco is a beautiful transition shade. It's like a gray purpley kind of color, which I love. Like, that is my favorite kind of color if I'm wearing a neutral look. That lighting is starting to come in really funny, which means I'm going to lose the lighting here soon, but we're almost done. Let's see. We're going to go in with, this is the Anastasia Prism palette. The packaging on this one is so pretty. I keep them in the boxes because of the material they are. And yeah, they get messy really fast. So this is the Prism palette. This was one that I feel like didn't really get talked about. It's a good formula, and I've created some really pretty looks with this palette. You can get the Prism to work for you. Maybe I'll do a look with it here soon. I really like it. I think it's pretty, but there's another one, and actually I'll do that one next. There's another one that everybody says is a horrible palette. You guys know which palette I'm talking about, and I love it. Is it a little harder to work with? Yes, because the fallout on it's a bit much. But if you work with it in the right way, this palette can create some of the most beautiful, unique looks. Hi, Patrick. So this is Subculture. And this is what made me fall in love with green and orange together. So I use New Wave and Untamed together all the time, and it creates a beautiful look. And then this color here, Cube, is very, very pretty. Amy, do you still have this palette, or did you get rid of it? Or did you not have it? Because I really love it. It's just a bit more work than an everyday look. And then the last Anastasia palette I have, you gave it to a friend, okay. The last Anastasia palette I haven't played with much, I just got it recently, is the Norvina. And again, I got this because of the colors and because I love the Anastasia formula. So this is the purple and pink shaded palette. I love Norvina, but I haven't really used it much because I just haven't decided what I want to do with it. The shimmers are amazing, and actually I feel that across the Anastasia palettes, her shimmers are absolutely to die for. Even the nude colored shimmers, which I don't do a lot of nudes, but with Anastasia, the shimmers are amazing. And let's go in, that brings me very well into my next brand. You guys, this is a brand that ends up on a lot of people's pass list because of the price point. And I picked one up last year. I got it as like a surprise for myself, or like a gift for myself. And I did it again this year. I got another palette as a gift for myself for like milestone celebrations. So we're going to go into Natasha Denona. Now, this first guy, while these are more budget friendly, but you're not getting as much bang for your buck. So the first one is the Mini Lila palette, or Lila, however they want you to say it. I used this one the other day as well. I don't think I did a video on it, but these guys are tiny. They're 25 bucks. If you want to try her formula, it's not a bad way to try the formula, but they are tiny. Here, I'll even show you. I'm just going to grab a random brush, okay? You guys all know about the size a brush is. This is the palette, and this is the brush. This is a standard sized eyeshadow brush, and this is how big the palette is next to an eyeshadow brush. But it's only $25, and Natasha Denona's formula is a lot more expensive usually. These are, let's see. Let me see if I can find. This is 5 eyeshadows, and they're 0.8 grams each. So you get a decent amount of product, but yeah, they're super tiny. And we're going to do this one because this is the one I was dying to get. I wanted this palette so bad when it came out. And I just got it. When I picked up my second job and I had a little bit of extra spending money for a little while, I picked this up as like a good job kind of thing. Like I was working 2 jobs, and in the beginning they were both full-time. So I was running myself in the ground, and this was my present for that. So we got the Natasha Denona Sunset palette. I deserved a me gift. I was seriously working so much at the time. Now I'm back down to pretty much 1 job. So this is the Natasha Denona Sunset. Again, the formula is amazing. Her shimmer shadows are the best shimmer shadows. Don't get me wrong, Anastasia's are great. But the Natasha Denona shimmer formula, it's to die for. It's what made me fall in love with the brand. Like I said, this last one I got as a Christmas present for myself last year. And it's what made me fall in love with the brand, even at the price point it is. So this one is the Natasha Denona Holiday Eyeshadow Palette 5 from last year. There were 2 different palettes. I'm trying to see if this one has a name on it. Yes, this one's the Joya. And this palette, I have created some of my favorite all-time looks with this guy. Now, there was an issue in shipping that one of these shades fell out, but I just took mine back to Sephora, and the one from Sephora, I didn't, clearly it's not falling out. I didn't have an issue with. The gold in this, I'm actually going to swatch the gold in this. You can still get this one too, Amy. It's a little harder to find than I think the other one was called the Eris. And I'm going to do a double swatch just because I don't have anything on my hand, and it's a sheerer shade. Oh, can you see it? This is the gold. the shades did fall out. I did experience that when I got mine from Sephora, but like I said, I just took it back into Sephora and had it replaced. I'm guessing because they're very, very soft shadows. So during the shipping process, either they shrunk in the pans or just a little bit of beating around from the shipping was an issue, because I didn't have an issue with any palette that I actually saw in Sephora that was this palette. And we're going to do the last set now. Nancy never made it back, so these are going to be my Jeffree Star palettes. And we're going to start, let's go oldest to newest. And I don't have them all. I am missing one. So the very first palette Jeffree Star ever came out with was Beauty Killer. Now, I waited and waited and waited for this guy to come out. I remember it being teased. When I got my first Jeffree Star product, I got the liquid lip in I'm Royalty. Because at the time, the one I wanted was sold out, which I did go back and get. It's Jeffree Star Unicorn Blood, and it is, to this day, one of my absolute favorite burgundy red liquid lips. Now, the problem I have with Jeffree Star liquid lips is they, over time, they do start to dry up, and because of the way his wand's designed, like if a Kat Von D liquid lipstick starts to dry up, because of the wand is a very smooth wand, I find I can still apply them okay. I have a couple skin frosts, and I may do a highlighter video if you guys want me to, but that would probably be a video. I did this live because I have so many palettes. But the Jeffree Star liquid lipsticks, the formula as they dry out, they get harder to use because of the way his doe foot is. The doe foot's great when the product is very liquidy, but when it starts to thicken up, it's just not that good. So the first Jeffree Star palette ever was the Beauty Killer palette. I do want to get the new Supreme Skin Frost too in Hypothermia because it's beautiful. It's like got a blue and purple sparkle to it, but it doesn't really look that way on the skin because I swatched it in the Morphe store. So here is the Beauty Killer palette. And I absolutely love it. Courtney's a really nice transition shade. Black Rainbow is pretty, but the glitter in it doesn't really show up. Star Power is like the most insane Barbie pink color you ever have seen. And then Princess, I almost feel like this may have inspired his Princess Cut highlighter. I don't live super close to a Morphe store. We had one just open, and actually, I don't know if you've seen any of the videos online. Jaclyn Hill just did the grand opening of the Morphe store here in Tampa, which is about a half-hour drive from me, so it's not too far. So actually, the last palette that I picked up was because I saw it in the Morphe store. I wasn't initially drawn to the palette like the Thirsty one, which I ended up swatching that in the Morphe store, and now I kind of want that one. Plus, I'm kind of a completist, so the Morphe store was really cool though, and it made me want to get a lot more Morphe. So the next palette Jeffree came out with was the Androgyny palette. Here's the packaging on this one. It has this weird like faux crocodile, and this is the one I reach for the least. When I got this palette, I got it for the we should go to Morphe one day, Ashley. I would absolutely love that. We need to get together soon. It would be fun. We haven't gotten together in a couple weeks. We did just go to Disney a couple weeks ago, but once I save up some money, we'll go on a shopping trip. So the reason I got this palette was for the bottom row, and honestly, these two colors are very, very similar. And then I find myself, I use Safe Word a lot. I use Frosting's a very nice transition shade. And then the color Military and the Charm color, again, that's where I got my orange and green together obsession from. Because in this palette, it's the same thing. Those two colors just look really nice together. I don't know if it's the tones of orange and green that these palettes have in them that make me like those colors together. But yeah. So again, nope, this one came out first. You guys know this particular palette had my heart the second it was announced. I am very much a red girl. I know people complain about the bulky packaging on this. Honestly, I love the packaging. I have an old horror movie DVD set. It was a horror movie series. It is huge. It's like almost the size of my head. The next one's bigger. I have a horror movie DVD series that was for Sleepaway Camp that was the same packaging. This reminds me of like medical packaging, which I thought went really nicely with the theme, and the packaging on it is really, really sturdy. One issue I have with the packaging, the little clips are nice, but It's kind of hard to open. You have to kind of wiggle it open because of the way it fits. So here we have Blood Sugar. There are a lot of pressed pigments in this guy. A color that surprised me in this was actually Candy Floss. I don't know how well you guys are going to be able to see it. It's a very sparkly, let me move forward and see if we can get it. It's a very sparkly pink shade that's just beautiful. I've actually used that as a highlighter as well. I also like Fresh Meat, which stains a lot. Coma, which stains a lot. Cavity. It's pretty much a pressed pigment palette. Like, I don't think they're all pressed pigments, but I think all the red and purple shades in this are pressed pigments. O Positive is a really pretty cool tone shade. And then we have the last palette today. I wish there was more people on. That way, I know it's the time of day. That way we could talk about what to do next. Or am I going to get the newer Blood Sugar? As long as I have the money. I absolutely want it. I know we haven't seen anything about it yet. We have no idea what it's going to look like. I want it. I don't care. I will eventually get that palette. And this one, this guy right here. When I saw this, one, I thought it was huge, massive. The packaging was terrible sized. I didn't think I liked the colors. I thought it was kind of boring. I love this palette. I'm pretty sure like my first 3 or 4 YouTube videos, I used this palette. The packaging is beautiful. Like, I almost wish if we wouldn't have gone with the shaped palette, I really wish we would have just went with this. Because this packaging, to me, that's why it's still in the box, because the packaging is sickening. This thing. Why? This is the same amount of eyeshadows as most other palettes. Why did it have to be so big? I get that he wanted the shape. I do. But there's so much unused space in this palette that I feel like we could have either done the shape smaller or maybe done round pans instead of square, so we could have clumped them together more and made the palette a little smaller. And then this, it does have a magnetic closure, but I feel like this is, like, if it would have been, like, I almost wish it would have been designed as a swivel palette instead of a flip palette. I like how easily it flips back, but I'm scared